For 20 years, the ocean has been looking for all of us, deep and vast and close enough to touch. An inland sea in the heart of the South. So here's to 20 years of awestruck faces and passionate people, of field trippers
Yeah, it's me.
and faraway visitors,
Fine
of those young. Here's to 20 more years of exploring these waters together. Here's to our H2O and yours. Here's to 20 years of Gerogia Aquarium.
Welcome, beach lovers, to the Dolphin Coast Theater, presented by Margaritaville Vacation Club by Liver. As you move around the theater, watch your step as the floor and stairs make you left. If you're in the gray seats located in the first 10 rows, you found yourself in our officially designated soap zone. Brace yourselves, because you're in for a salty splashdown, and there's a good chance you could be drenched with ice-cold salt water. So if you prefer staying dry, it's time to seek higher ground to protect your belongings. As the presentation begins, please refrain from walking along the front aisle. Any movement near the end could distract audience and affect the presentation. Same goes for flash photography. Let's give them the undivided attention they deserve. Now, if you need to make a quick getaway, head towards the stairs. Seek out one of our friendly ushers at the top aisle of the theater. They'll be ready to assist you and make sure everything's A-OK. And finally, as the presentation comes to an end, we kindly ask that you remain seated until our ushers give you the signal to rise and go with the flow, as each section makes their way out of the theater. Now, without further ado, please put those fins together and give a warm welcome to one of our incredible dolphin trainers.
And as a trainer here at the Gerogia Aquarium, I have the unique opportunity of working with these amazing animals on a daily basis. Being a dolphin trainer is truly a dream come true. At the Gerogia Aquarium, we have a family of 13 common bottlenose dolphins, but I'd like to get started by introducing you to some of our amazing trainers. Joining me on stage, we have Rachel, Sophie, and Patrick. And now it is time to introduce the real life of the party, our family of bottlenose dolphins, pushing trainer Sophie to the bottom of our 30-foot habitat, up and out of the water, Kay and Salvador! Now that you have been properly introduced to our family of bottlenose dolphins, they will be making their way to your side of the habitat for an up-close and personal look. All of the dolphins that you will see during our presentation today are known as common bottlenose dolphins. They get this name from the distinct bottleneck shape of their nose to their head. But did you know a dolphin doesn't actually have a nose or even a sense of smell? This part of their body is known as the rostrum and is covered in several hair-like whiskers which eventually fall out. These whiskers are just one of the 5 characteristics that classify a dolphin as a mammal, just like you and me. All mammals give live birth and nurse their young. Mammals are also warm-blooded, and dolphins maintain an average body temperature of 97.9 degrees Fahrenheit, very similar to that of our own. Now, the fifth and final characteristic that classifies a dolphin as a mammal is breathing air. But wait, we already learned a dolphin doesn't actually have a nose, so they breathe from their blowhole, which is located right on top for Kay and Salvador, they find time spent in the water with their trainers to be highly reinforcing. So in just a moment, we're going to be inviting two of our amazing trainers to enter the water and demonstrate just how beautiful their relationships are. So we're going to have Rachel and Sophie into the water with Kay and Salvador. So I'd like to invite you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy this relationship building session. Dolphins. At the Gerogia Aquarium, we use a variety of different methods to train our dolphins, but focus on primary reinforcement and positive reinforcement. Now, primary reinforcers can be anything like fish, so capelin, smelt, herring, finger mullet, even flounder. And then we have something called a secondary reinforcer, which again are going to be those toys like you just saw Kay and Salvador playing with, such as basketballs, congs, footballs, and we can able to use those to reinforce our dolphins. Now, a variety of tools that we will also use are going to be something called hand signals, and that allows us to communicate to our dolphins exactly what behavior we are looking for. And then we are able to use something called a whistle. You've probably already heard it. So we call those our bridge, and that allows us to bridge the moment between the behavior emitted and reinforcement. So that allows us to communicate to our dolphins all the way across our show pool. Yes, that was exactly the behavior I was looking for, so come on back and get some of that primary reinforcement and restaurant quality fish. Now, during this training session, we are going to be working with some of our largest males towards a backflip behavior. So at first, we're going to have to start with some of the fundamentals. So we're being joined out here by Kenobi, Pacino, Sydney, and Polka. And they're going to help us out with this training session. So in just a moment, what we do is we're going to teach our dolphins to simply target or touch the end of their rostrum to the end of a target pole. So Polka is making his way on over to the glass to our trainer Morgan, who has an example of that target pole for you, which is simply a buoy connected to the end of a PVC pipe. Now, one of the ways that we can do this is Morgan can move that target pole in an up and down motion, and Polka should follow it to give you a head shake yes. Similarly, she can move that target pole side to side, and we should get something that looks like, you guessed it, a head shake no. Now we can take this one step further and move that target pole in a circular motion, and Polka should follow with his full body and show off his dance moves.
Sorry. What's going on?
Now this is one of the fundamentals that allow us to approximate our dolphin's body position. So moving from this, we're then going to ask one of our dolphins, Kenobi, to help demonstrate for you how we train that flip behavior. So we start off with something very simple called a tumble, which is where we're going to ask our dolphin to simply rotate their body along the surface of the water. Now this is going to be demonstrated for you all by Kenobi, so look for that hand signal Rachel just gave it. So he's going to be coming up for his flukes to go all the way over his head just like that. See him do it again one more time with full rotation at the surface of the water. And there is that bridge, so that tells him, yes, that was exactly what she was looking for. Come on back and get some of that reinforcement. Now the next step from this, we would then again use a target pole to approximate up higher out of the water. And so our dolphin, Pacino, has already learned this behavior, so he's going to demonstrate what that front flip looks like for you. So here's that hand signal, and he should come right up and flip in the air. Now, Sydney is one of our highest flying rock stars who's going to be finishing up this training session for you all, doing this motion but in the opposite direction. So again, you're going to be able to use that target pole to approximate every rotation. So Patrick is going to give that signal to Sydney now, and he is going to soar 20 feet out of the air. That was incredible. Now, this is just one of the many kinds of sessions we can have in a day here at the Gerogia Aquarium. We can have training sessions just like this where we approximate new and exciting behaviors. We can have water work sessions where we enter the water and build our relationship with all of our dolphins. We can have exercise sessions, and we can even have play sessions. But one of my favorites is called a husbandry session. And what this is where we actually are able to voluntarily ask our dolphins to participate in their own healthcare. So when requested by our incredible veterinary staff, we can voluntarily collect samples such as bloods, exhales, fecals, and we even perform voluntary ultrasounds along with other medical procedures. Now we are able to do all of this and so much more because dolphins truly are some of the smartest animals on the planet. So now I'd like to take one last opportunity to demonstrate for you all the grace, beauty, and athleticism of the bottlenose dolphin.
मल्ली जम जाते हैं and splash it.
Thank you for joining us for Dolphins in the Please remain seated until the usher indicates that it is time for your section to stand and exit the gate. Again, please remain seated until the usher instructs your group to stand and exit the gate. Please remember to collect your personal belongings and watch your step as you exit, as the stairs may fall or be slippery. For the health and safety of our members, please do not reach over your coat. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Georgia Aquarium.